Hey, Master Gardeners, I'm digging my dahlias. So I'm inviting you to come and look and see how to dig them. And this is not a process that's worth investing in unless you love dahlias and you have time on your hands. So come and see. I've already dug about 15 of my dahlias. This one I just dug a few minutes ago. So this one just came out of the ground. I do label mine. These are cat food lids that I label and I mark the stems with, and I grade how much I like them. And this is in perfect condition because this one really has buds already coming out on it. Look down inside there. See the little buds? That's going to be what we're looking for as we divide these. I do not store the whole tuber as a lump sum because I've never tried doing that. I understand there's people that do that. I always divide them down into smaller pieces, the size of the ones that they are when you buy them. So I like to divide them because it's easier to package them, especially back when I used to grow a lot of dahlias, that was an easier process. So that's why I do it. So I dig it and I surge it with water real heavy to get all the little worms out and to get all the soil out from all of these crevices. And then once I've done that, I take a knife and I begin my division. Now it's pretty clear here that I have 3 stems, so I know that I have 3 plants here. Usually, go watch other videos on this. But usually I want to just divide. I use pruners or I use a knife. I like this little hook knife. They sell a little pruning knives and things. Oh, look, that one already broke away. So my one stem is already coming away. Great. So there's one stem, and I might just keep that as is. I might hose it again. You'll notice I'm going to show you how I do some of my labels. Hold on, I hurt my thumb playing with my dog. Oh, look, I got an earthworm. Like I said, see that little earthworm in there? That is so normal to find worms throughout your root systems. But I prune out that old stem. I want to get that off. Look, see, I've got that decay already beginning down inside there. This is a problem. I don't like to store when I know I have roots, I have soil down in my stems. So that's all the more reason why I need to prune that away. So I'm going to get that off. I'm going to prune that little tuber, release the worm. So I have a little piece here. Oh, that's so small. But nonetheless, I have a bud. Can you look in and see that? Can you see that little bud right there? It's right down inside there. That's, for some reason, because this tuber was dug and it's easy to see the buds. It's not usually that easy. This is actually so darn complicated. I cut off that little one, and there's my little tuber. I'm actually going to try and save that. But this other one I'll save as a bigger chunk. I'm going to cut this away. I got too many tubers on there. I don't quite need all of those. I cut off these long pieces. Whoop. I can bet once I've got this swollen balloon section that I probably have some buds in there. So I'll hose this again and dry it out, and that'll be my tuber. This piece, oh, I might try and keep it. It might have a piece on there. If these necks on these break, forget it. They're dead. They're lost. And I'll show you. These other ones have been dug for 3 days. I'm letting them really super dry out. And look at these. See, the necks have already dried up? I'm losing these already. So see this squiggly thing? I'm losing these. I've left them laying out for too many days, and the necks on them are drying up already. So I do take a marker and write on them. I'm going to drop some of these in a Ziploc bag and try to re-moisten them to initiate some of these buds. So they'll go. I like to store mine in vermiculite. You know something? This is trash. This is of no use whatsoever. If you do not have a piece of the stem, the tuber is a stem tuber. If you don't have a piece of the stem, you won't have buds. So the tuber itself, the root, it's of no worth whatsoever. Let me show you my whole trash bin. Stay here. Let me show you. See how much I throw away? I have tons of pieces that I'm discarding. So when you have large tubers that don't have a chunk of the stem, that's trash. Let me try another one with you. I'm going to try, here's a dried one. Again, I'm going to try to divide my set of tubers in half. And once I get it into pieces, then I try to evaluate who's a good tuber and who isn't. That one was disconnected. This one's disconnected. I'm going to cut my main stem off. I'm going to prune all my little roots. No reason to keep all those little roots. I'm going to nip this little one because he's already drying up too much. nip him off there. Make sure I got all my roots off. And that's the gist of it. I'll save this whole tuber as one. Got a little soil left on there. So after I've gotten them clean, I don't like any soil left on them at all. That's just asking for bacteria. But let me show you what my next step is. Come on over here. So I'm going to take this tuber. I'm going to lay it in a box. I've got layers of them in here. I just start laying them and burying them inside there. Even with my labels. Hey, look, there's last year's name. Look, in the spring I wrote, this is Stolz von Berlin. This is the old tuber. Usually, a lot of people recommend you throw the mother tuber away, but I don't mind. On that one, I'm keeping it, and I think I labeled the other one here. So I'm going to bury these down in my vermiculite. I've layered about 10 or 12 layers of paper. I'm going to bury them in. I'm going to add another layer of vermiculite. I'm going to lay newspaper on. I'm going to pack it up, and I'm going to store it in my 50-degree basement. Now, some of these tubers that are already so dry, like look at my Karma chocolates. They're already starting to shrivel. I've left them out here too long. But the reason I left them out so long is I have so much white mycelium growing on them. Look at the white on these. I think I'm already set up for too much trouble. See the white? That's going to be trouble. I dipped them in a bleach, 10% bleach solution, attempting to remove some of this mycelium fungi that are growing, but I'm in trouble, and I'm afraid when I package these, they're going to end up rotting in my storage. But anyway, I did what I could. Another thing I could do is put sulfur on them, a fungicide inside, and dust some of them, and I might come back and do that in a few weeks. But for now, I'm going to get them in the box tonight. It's supposed to be really dipping down cold, and we're going to get rain, so I'm getting all my dahlias packed away. So that's the gist, Master Gardeners, of how to do dahlias. They're my lover. It's one of the plants I love the most. So I hope you enjoy this.